Hello everybody, it is me, Alimations, today returning with a review! Wowie, I do not remember the last time that I made a review. But I'm back with another one, so I hope you guys enjoy it. Today's review is, yeah, you already saw the title, it's Wolfychu. Little mini rant here. No, not on Wolfychu, this is an honest and innocent critique, a review, not a rant. It's not a rant on the drama either. This is something that happens a lot on the internet in general. When someone is rude, hurtful, and disrespectful to somebody else, and then when they defend themselves or someone else defends them, all of a sudden they're weak. You know, person A is just kind of a jerk, and person B is the victim, and then person C comes along and defends them, and all of a sudden they're just a weakling. I've seen this kind of thing with Wolfychu, Wolfychu haters, Wolfychu lovers. So I figured I might as well share my thoughts on it, after all it is kind of remotely related. I really don't think this is acceptable. It intimidates people and makes them feel weak just for defending someone else. Defending someone else is helping someone else, unless they did something like horrible or illegal, which Wolfychu did not do. I think people are really overreacting about this entire thing, and the drama should have never existed to begin with. Wait a minute, Wolfychu has a bland art style? She must be associated with ISIS! That's basically the animation meme community in a nutshell right now. Like, yeah, she has her flaws, I'll be the first to admit. But that's what this review is for. It's an honest and innocent critique to help her improve. Not a disrespectful rant or call out just because she has a bland art style or she's slacking in the animation department. That deserves a review, a critique, not a rant. People, there is a difference. Today I will be reviewing Wolfychu. First, let's get into the art. Wolfychu appears to have a pretty bland art style in my opinion. In fact, it appears that she's unimproved. About a year ago, probably longer to be honest, she had a very nice art style that was very pleasing to the eye. There was a lot of value and texture used in her artwork and it was very pleasing to see. Especially in her animations, just take a look at this. Wait a second, I forgot. We're not into the animation department yet. Yes, her art style is pretty bland. There's nothing that really surprises me. There's nothing that really stands out or shouts out, hey, take a look at me. In fact, in her older art, there was a lot that just screamed, hey, take a yander at this. All of the value and texture put into this piece, it's absolutely glorious and very pleasing to the eye. The color choices are also very nice and fitting. Nothing is really neon or eye-blinding. I know that these kinds of things take a really long time, especially with the attention to detail. And I perfectly understand if she doesn't want to include this style in her animations because freaking every frame would take like 69 years to finish. But let's take something that she uses very commonly without any change. Take her talking sprites, for example. If they had this much detail, they would be absolutely stunning. I am not kidding when I say I would look forward to every single one of her story times or just anything in general with a talking sprite in it. She doesn't even have to animate anything. And she can continuously use those talking sprites in many of her storytime videos or discussion videos. It would be absolutely lovely and appealing if she did something like that, just took a turn. Here's some of her newer art on her DeviantArt. There may not be quite as much detail as the last one, but you can still see the effort put into it. There's value, there's shading, there's texture, and there's even movement with things like the hair. You can clearly see the wrinkles and texture in the clothes and the bow on it. Everything is just placed together so nicely. It appears that when she doesn't use this kind of detail or spend this kind of time on her talking sprites or anything like that in her videos, it turns out to be really bland. Nowadays, it seems like only the eyes are really detailed and then there would be a bit of shading in the hair and that's it. In this piece, all of the shading and detail is nice and balanced. It's not only the eyes that have a ton of detail put into them, it's everything in the piece. I see this problem with art a lot where there is a lot of detail put into one thing but not the rest of the art. She seems to struggle with this now, so I would recommend trying to fix that. One of the biggest things that she should try working on more now is shading. Wolfychu, you are a pro at shading and it makes your art look 1,000 quadrillion times better. I feel like with this wonderful use of shading and also balance between the different values would make your art a lot more appealing and pleasing to the eye. And your art style wouldn't be so bland anymore. See, it's mainly the shading that just gets me with these. It's something that makes Wolfychu an excellent artist, and you can see the amount of effort put into it when it is used. But if not, it's hard to see the potential in her. Also, she has a few anatomy errors. And see, this was what I was talking about. There's a lot of detail in the eyes and some in the hair as well with the shading. But other than that, there's not necessarily too much. The eye on the left is very squished and they seem to be very far apart from each other. The face also seems to just change shape here. It seemed to be different throughout the rest of the video. I don't know, it just kind of changes. Is that just me? Let me know. Overall, I think that Wolfychu has kind of downgraded from her old style. But that's okay, it shows that she has potential and there's no way that she could just go backwards and keep going backwards. She will get better, guys. All she needs is a little bit of constructive criticism and a bit of motivation to keep her going. She will improve her art and she will go back. We just have to give her the time to do that. One last thing I'd like to cover about one of her most recent uploads, First Burn. Something about her art has changed, and it's changed for the better. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but there's something that has changed about her style and it is much better. I think one of the main things is the expressions that the characters had in their faces throughout the video. You could truly tell what emotion they were feeling by looking at their faces, and it didn't just look really bland. Their eyes didn't look so blank anymore. I don't know what it is about it, but there's something about the expressions that has changed that makes it look far better. Wolfychu, whatever you're doing, keep doing it because your art is definitely going somewhere. Also, there were quite a few frames where the eyes didn't have as much detail put into them and the art actually looked balanced. Anyways, it's about time I move on to the next category, animation. Now, I'll be the first to admit that Wolfychu has kind of neglected animation lately. But I do have to give her credit. Back here, she made this animatic / PMV kind of a thing called I Like Me Better, but she titled it an animation when there was hardly any animation. She doesn't appear to have that issue anymore. Now these types of videos are called animatics like they should have been titled from the start. There are little touches of animation here and there, but I'm sure you get my point. Unfortunately though, Wolfychu used to animate like this. But now, sadly, she is very much slacking and doesn't really animate all that much anymore. Aside from the little touches of animation in her storytime videos and discussion videos and other things like that, she hasn't been animating much lately. Personally, I think the reason for this is because she's pretty much dropped animation memes entirely, which, you know what, that's perfectly fine. It's her choice what kind of content she makes, and I'll be getting into the content later. Anyways, when Wolfychu does actually sit down and animate, it is very fluid and smooth and it's super enjoyable to watch. It just kind of saddens me that she doesn't do it all that much anymore. But you know what, it's her choice and I can't stop her. Plus, and I just want to get this out of the way real quick, there's absolutely nothing wrong with not wanting to animate anymore. It could be a loss of motivation, it could be a loss of inspiration, we may never know. But what I want to make clear here is that Wolfychu is a good animator whether she actually does it or not. It's okay for her to resort to PMVs or picture music videos or animatics if she wants. Personally, I make these types of videos, I just animate off camera and sometimes on camera. But to keep my audience entertained, since I take freaking forever to animate, I do these little animatics instead. There's nothing wrong with having just still images on the screen, just as long as you actually call it an animatic or a PMV, not an animation. Now let's move on to the OCs. From what I know, Wolfychu only really uses 2 OCs, pretty much just one now. And that's these two. What do I think of Wolfie's design? Honestly, I think it's perfectly fine. It's plain and a little bit bland, but it's alright. However, I am pretty confused about what her main outfit is supposed to be. Maybe it's that little pink sweater with the little gray skirt, I don't know. But honestly, while Wolfie is a bit bland, I think she's kind of cute. She's just a white wolf with some blue hair. Nothing really eye-blinding or bad about her design. However, like with her current art, there's nothing that really stands out to me too much. Maybe give her clothes or something like that a bit of a pattern. Also, the blue hair is a little bit out of place. I don't know, I think it just doesn't really go well with the rest of the design. It just kind of distracts me a little bit. Other than that, I don't really have any problem with Wolfie whatsoever. I did see a reference sheet of her on her DeviantArt, which I'm too lazy to go get right now. But Wolfie had an outfit on that makes me completely forget about the distracting hair. Because really with that outfit on, her hair matches pretty much everything perfectly fine. I think Wolfie actually looks amazing with that outfit that she had on her ref sheet. Now as for, I don't know, her name, Luna? I'm sorry, but there's just nothing negative I can say about this OC. It's just amazing! I apologize, everyone. I'm just very in love with this design. It's like a design I haven't really seen before. The colors go together so nicely and it's so relaxing. Also 666. No one really pays attention to this. I mean, everyone overlooks Wolfychu anyways because of the recent drama going on. But Wolfychu's content is one thing that has actually improved a lot. She's gone from unoriginal animation memes, which there's nothing wrong with making memes, I'm just stating they're unoriginal and you're basically just copying animation memes all over the internet. But seriously, she's gone from that to very original content. Her content now contains a variety of videos. These can include storytime videos, discussion videos, animatics. I love the originality. Sadly, everybody just overlooks this kind of stuff and no one really cares about the things that make Wolfychu positive. All people care about now is her so-called fake voice. Guys, why are we just overlooking the fact that Wolfie has a ton of potential? Just because she goes from this to this doesn't mean that all hope is lost. Even if she did unimprove a lot, she can still go back to her old ways and continue improving from there. We need to quit overlooking these things and overlooking the fact that Wolfychu has amazing potential. She could be a wonderful artist and animator just as long as she sits down and puts a lot more effort into her content. She has potential and everyone just overlooks that, so I'm coming here to save the day and tell you, Wolfychu, that you're very talented and you're still a human despite what these people say. No, I'm not a white knight, and no, I don't think she's perfect. But there's room for improvement. She has potential. Good luck, Wolfie. Good luck. And I hope that we can all just leave alone the sick and absurd drama that is Wolfychu drama just because her voice is high-pitched. Oh no, she's working with ISIS! Insert abrupt ending here.